and less time in the physical dimension. Why bother fixing the real world when the in-game world is always perfect, beautiful, or at least exactly as it's designed to be? But even this is not the end, and the lines around what is real begins to blur until you can't even see the line anymore. One day, it may even become possible to transport your entire consciousness into a game. This concept was demonstrated powerfully by a show called Sword Art Online, in which a VR headset allowed individuals to leave their body behind as they enter into an entirely virtual reality. Your body is unconscious, you're not even aware of it, and you experience reality as if you are physically running around in Azeroth or Minecraft, Hyrule, or literally anywhere that you want, as anyone that you want. Recently, this idea was also portrayed in an episode of Black Mirror, with a next-level VR headset that is just a little disc that you put on the side of your head, and it transports your consciousness into a video game. As you enter into a world where you can literally do anything, like fly, use magic, go on epic quests, or even just spend an entire summer fishing by a beautiful lake in paradise, the question becomes, why spend any time in the physical world at all? Do you want to have a super powerful body? Or a super sexy one? How do you want your face to look? You can customize it to your liking freely. Since this technology would connect directly to your brain, it could even stimulate sensations like getting drunk, taking psychedelics, or rewiring your thinking patterns to be however you want. If the only concern of having to unplug is eating and going to the bathroom, then undoubtedly someone will create a technology that makes it so that that isn't even an issue, and you will truly never have to leave. One might also wonder exactly what would happen to your physical body if you were to rewire your consciousness and brain inside of the game world. Would it change your body appearance at all? A mass exodus from the physical world would create tremendous changes within humanity, as part of the human race strives to live in this new world, and another part rebels against it, or simply cannot afford to play the game. Further, we may end up.
Listen up, this is going to be one of the most important videos you ever watch in your entire life, so make sure you watch it over and over again and take some notes. This is the famous double slit experiment, and it shows that a particle is not a particle unless it's being observed. When the particle isn't being observed, it's in a waveform, and that waveform is information. Now, this experiment has been done over and over again, and you can find it on YouTube, you can find it all over the internet. Remember that we are 99.9999 empty space. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that we live in a world that is not physical as we know it. Everything is in waveform information, and that gets passed through our five senses: hear, smell, taste, see, and touch, and sends an electrical signal to our brain, and then our brain decodes it into an apparent physical reality.
Body physically died, they upload your consciousness to a virtual world.
That's spooky. Imagine just getting exported as like a PDF and then uploaded. Like when you finally croak, you just get like exported and re-uploaded somewhere else.
We're not far from that.
What? You think we're close to being uploaded to a server as our consciousness?
Yeah.
What?
Dude,
no.
At the beginning of 2021, I wasn't gonna use my freaking crypto to buy stuff, but here we are at the end of the year, I'm already doing it.
So you think you can take Dalton and put him on a USB stick and upload me?
Dude, by the time I'm 70, I think that could be a thing.
Okay.
There was a show on.
How freaking crazy.
And we're slowly being replaced, because after certain concerts, which we're not getting ready to talk about, why wouldn't we just do it in the safety of our own homes? Celebrities talk too much. They have scandals and pesky political affiliations. AIs don't. Having robot-like, but not quite human enough, artificial intelligence doing jobs that we just don't value. They don't need sick days, raises. Therefore, companies don't have to anticipate needs, just maintain their machinery. I think by the time we fully grasp exactly what's happening, it would have already been too late. We would not have only lost agency over ourselves, But corporations would not have an incentive to work with us. The ball wouldn't even be in their court. They would have the ball and the court. So the next time you see Sophia, tell sis to square up, because she could very well take your job. Bye. We ended with how exactly scary Sophia is. And I feel like that's the purpose. I feel like they wanted her to look so bad, so obviously AI, that we wouldn't feel threatened. There could be no way that we could be tricked. When looking at a robot, AI, virtual reality, we should be able to tell that it's not real life. They can't fool me though. Moving on. This is an AI. She is verified and has 3.1 million followers. She literally has a social justice hashtag. You know what she don't got? Humanity, the ability to do something wrong or say something wrong, the unpredictability of being us. So why would we need Megan Thee Stallion for hottie sauce? Why couldn't we just use her? Why would we need Kim Kardashian with Skims? They could literally make an AI for every body type. I scribbled on the screenshot for a reason, but let's talk about AI concerts. We ended with a concert that brought in $20 million of revenue. This is not going to be atypical in the future, in my opinion. You have other people's avatar that's interacting with the person that's performing. That's cool. Most importantly, it's accessible with no liabilities. I hope you guys are getting a trend here. The selling point of this is literally us. The fact that we low-key a little bit trash. Do you guys remember this Black Mirror episode? It played with how much we're on social media, use it for validation. Quite literally, people earn a living online while not actually being that way in public. I'm scared. This some scary shit. They're doing the same thing in Halo on Xbox. And I'm trying to figure out why we're mimicking art. Our art. When the truth is, we've been leading up to this for years. Somebody come and look at this. See you in a...
Technology is being pushed, you feel me? Because this metaverse right now, it's about to have a big impact on future generations. And it's already having a big impact on kids right now. And you know how much media influence and stuff can be influenced into a kid at that age. But let me know in the comments what y'all think of this vid.
Traveling into the future and say, well, how good, let's say, will video games be in 100 or 200 or 1,000 years from now? If you extrapolate that out into the future with any rate of progress at all, if you assume any improvement at all, if you assume any rate of improvement at all, any rate of improvement at all, like even 0.1% or something like that, any improvement, 1%, 0.1%, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality. Then eventually those games will be indistinguishable from reality. Beyond a certain resolution, indistinguishable from reality. Just indistinguishable. If it's so realistic, you will not be able to tell the difference between that game and the reality as we know it. Then games will be indistinguishable from reality.
So, essentially, we live in a world now, technologically speaking, where video of a person talking can be edited in real time to make it seem like that person is saying anything. Recordings of someone's voice can be used to generate a soundboard of their voice saying anything, and it sounds like they actually said it when they didn't. Generative adversarial networks are now creating human beings out of thin air, using bits of images to create and compile people that do not exist. And on top of all of that, it has gotten so sophisticated that people in scientific studies now cannot tell the difference between a synthetic computer-generated human and a picture of a human being that actually physically exists. That is the level that we are now at. I remember when I was a kid, people used to say, seeing is believing. Am I dating myself now to talk about that? I remember that. I remember that being a phrase that people would generally just say sometimes. Not only do I not think it was ever true then, it's definitely not true now. And I think what we're going to start seeing, and this is just my perspective, there are some people who are tapping into their God-given gut instincts and they're trusting that. And there are others who are having that innate sense that we all have overridden by the lower emotions, I guess. Anger, fear, the kind of thing that just gets a knee-jerk reaction without any critical thought happening between the stimulus and the response. And the whole show is designed to keep people hooked in so they never pull back enough to recognize the cycle of what is happening.
What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
Could the Matrix be a real
True Talk,
thing?
listen up. Something we really need to keep an eye on right now is how far this technology